Hello everybody, my name is Alexander Barrelier. I am doing this video today directed to all of those who are digital nomads and digital entrepreneurs. Before to continue with this video, I would like to make it 6 basis question in order to help you to decide if you should continue or not with this video. Those questions are this. Question number 1, are you a digital entrepreneur or digital nomad who is maybe doing Amazon FBA, dropshipping, or even selling on your own website? You are creating content in YouTube and TikTok or any other platform, or maybe you are a crypto holder, crypto trader, so then you are a digital entrepreneur. So question number 2, have you been struggling every year when you have to pay income taxes in the country where you are resident, and the rate of income taxes is like between 25% up to 65% depending of the country where you are living? So question number 3, have you been trying to optimize your taxes before? So that is important. Question number 4, do you have an adventure spirit? And question number 5, is your revenue over $1 million every year? Because, for example, if you are an Amazon seller where the profit used to be between 20 to 23 and 24%, and if your revenue is over $1 million, it means that you are having a profit that could be between $200 to $230,000. And if you are paying, let's say that you are living in a country where you're going to pay, I don't know, 25%, let's say 45%, that is more or less the average for that range of revenue. So 45%, you're gonna pay about $135,000 in concept of income taxes every year when you have a revenue of $1 million with a profit between 20 or 25%. So that's important to consider. And the question number 6, and one of the most important, is, are you willing to move to a country with offshore, like consider an offshore zone with a territorial income taxes system, which means that you're not gonna pay taxes for any money that you generate outside that country where you're gonna live? Are you willing to move to one of those countries? So if you answer yes to all those questions that I make it, so that's important, because it means that you are ready to do the steps that I'm going to explain in this video, and you are willing to change your life and save hundreds of thousands of dollars every year in concepts of income taxes. So stay in the video. In the meantime, you could subscribe to our channel and activate the bell, and you're going to receive more information all the time when we create new content with related topics or even another additional one. So stay here. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for staying in the video. And if you answer yes to all the previous questions, I will introduce you with an information that is really important for you to reduce your taxes equal zero every year in a legal way. My name is Alexander Barrelier, and I am a real estate agent here in Panama. And I am the founder of Metro Realty Panama since 2007. But the most important part that introduced me with all this information that I'm going to give it to you now is that in 2019, I created an LLC in the United States, which is I use to sell products online in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And I am in a promptly expansion to Europe, to 8 countries there. So, as I am a resident here in Panama, I am a free taxes person for the IRS in US and for the organization who collect the taxes in Europe. Why? Because I am living in a country with a territorial income taxes system, which allow me to be a free person of taxes here in Panama for all the income that I generate outside the country. And when I am talking about United States, for all the products that I sell there, so I consider the IRS considering me and my company, which is a LLC, that is a pass-through company, it means that everything is directly to the sole owner of the LLC. So when we analyze that, the IRS analyze that, if I am a non-ETBUS person, so a ETBUS person is everyone who is engaged in trade business in the United States. So, and to be a person engaged in trade business in the United States, you need to have a dependent agent in the United States. And I will explain you later on in this video what means a dependent agent and what is a non-dependent agent. So basically, as I don't have those conditions that make me be an ETBUS person in the United States, so I don't have to pay taxes in the United States. I should pay taxes only in the country where I am a resident. So when I come to the country where I am a resident, which is Panama, I don't have to pay any taxes because Panama is an offshore country, which means that that's not exactly mean, but Panama in particular have a territorial tax system, so I don't have to pay any taxes then in Panama. And I'm going to explain in this video how to enjoy of all those benefits that I have, because lucky me, I born in this country and I have the citizen, so I have been living here mostly my whole life, and for being a resident in this country, so I don't have to pay any taxes for the business that I am running outside Panama. And I'm going to explain you how exactly do the same that I am doing in a completely legal way. So now I'm going to explain you what is an ETBUS and how to get, what is exactly an ETBUS and how to get a permanent resident in Panama in order to enjoy those benefits. Let's start it. In this point of the video, I would like to make a disclaimer that the content of this video, it doesn't apply for all those who are American citizens or American resident with a green card or green card holder. So this video doesn't apply for them, and for all those entrepreneurs who are American citizen or American permanent resident with a green card holder, I recommend you to contact an international tax advisor who is going to give you the better way to optimize your taxes in a legal way, of course. So, but who is this video really? For all those that the IRS consider as a non-resident alien. And who are a non-resident alien by the initial in English NRAS? So a non-resident alien is all person who is not an American citizen, who is not an American permanent resident, green card holder, or is any other person who not pass the threshold of substantial presence in United States. And what is the substantial presence in United States? So it's 31 days for the current year or 183 days for the last 3 years, which is included the current year and the last previous year. That is the substantial presence in United States. So you should be really careful for each visit that you do in the United States for not pass that threshold, because it's just 31 days for the current year. So be careful, or otherwise you will have to pay taxes in the United States. In the case that you are a non-resident alien, you should really take advantage of the benefits that I will introduce you here in this video, but still you need to be careful for not pass that threshold. So I would like to explain you now that what do you need to also be careful in terms of business in the United States and in another country to really can enjoy those tax benefits in an offshore country. For the purpose of this video, let's explain what is a ETBUS person. So if you are considering a non-ETBUS person, you can apply the content of this video for optimize your taxes. So there is certain condition to be considered for the IRS as an ETBUS person, engaged trade in business in the United States. So those conditions are basically that you have to have a dependent agent in the United States. So, and that's is going to be an employee who is working exclusively for you for their functions. They are linked directly with the future of their business, and they are extremely important. What they are doing is extremely important for the future of the business in the United States. So that is one option of a dependent item, because the another one is that you have a commercial relationship with a company which is working mostly exclusively for you. You are the main client and they are doing work for you. So that's the only two conditions that are going to convert your business in an ETBUS persons in the United States. So for that, I will explain a little bit more what is a dependent item. A dependent item, it can be a person, employee, who is doing exclusive work for you, and they then depend from you, because you are basically the only employee who is given the 100% of the income and sources of money for them. Also, that dependent item, it can be a company or a contractor, independent contractor that is basically exclusively also doing work for you and depend extremely from the business with you. So that's two conditions. Those two types of person are the dependent agent. And if you are working with dependent agent, rather it is a person or a company or a contractor, you are an ETBUS person. And if you are an ETBUS person in the United States, you have to pay taxes there. But if you don't have any of those conditions, you are not an ETBUS person. You are a non-resident alien person. So basically, you don't have to pay taxes in the United States. You must pay taxes in the country where you are a resident. And then, if you are a resident again I will mention again, in an offshore country, you don't have to pay taxes. So that's why it's important in this part explain that I am living in Panama, and I realize, hey, I'm running my business, I'm not paying taxes in the United States. But at the same time, in the United States or in other country where I am running my business and selling my products, but at the same time, I realize as a realtor here in Panama that I become to be people who are selling products on Amazon, most of them coming from Spain, Italy, Australia, and they are living now here in Panama. They have been my clients here in Panama, selling real estate to them, renting real estate to them, because they are relocating in Panama, because they want to live here. They are running their business from here. And they don't have employees in the United States, because most of them, they have a bunch of freelancers working for them, but all of the freelancers working for them to run the business in the US or to run the business in Europe, they are in another country. They are freelancers that they are from Philippines, that they are from Thailand, they are from India. It's the same that I am doing with my business, because all my freelancers, they are mostly from the same country that the freelancers who are working for my clients that become to be now my friend, because we are in the same path, in the same kind of business. So, and that's something that just put up in my mind, the idea to make this video, because I am enjoying of those benefits. And all my real estate clients that are also doing the same business that I am doing, they are enjoying those benefits living here in Panama and running their business in Europe, in US, in Europe, and even in Middle East, you know, because now all those who are selling on Amazon are also selling in Middle East. So still, they are enjoying that benefit of being living here in an offshore country. And I wanted to explain you in this video all the steps that you need to follow in order to get a permanent resident here in Panama and start to enjoy those benefits that will save you a lot of money. But before to explain you, I need to be fair, and I'm going to make a difference between the top 10 countries who are also offering the same offshore benefit that is going to be similar, that if you move here in Panama or if you move to any of them. I need to be fair, and I need to also explain you how is it, how costs in the other one. I need that you make comparison. I don't want to say that Panama is the best one because I live here and because my friends now live here. I will explain you, and then you are free to make your own decision. And if you still decide that Panama is the place, I will leave you my contact here, and I am 100% willing to help you in that transition to move to a new country and do all the paperwork that you need. We have a legal staff here in Panama that can help you with all the process to get the permanent residence. We have also another staff that can help you to open the bank accounts and all of that. We have the real estate agency that will help you to relocate it, even if you are planning to rent a place at the beginning. But if you really want to apply for the permanent residence, you need to follow another step, and we're going to help you also to find properties in order to enjoy that benefit. So keep watching, because now I'm going to make the comparison between all those countries and Panama, and you will get your own decision. So stay here. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I want to make it fair, and for that reason I'm going to offer you a comparison between all the countries, the top 10 countries, which are offering the same offshore benefits for everyone in terms of taxes, because it means that they have a territorial tax system. And in that order I wanted to mention the list. So basically we have in that top 10 list Costa Rica, Gibraltar, Hong Kong, Macao, Malaysia, Nicaragua, Panama. We have San Marino, Singapore, and Paraguay. So I'm going to explain you one by one how much it costs you to get the permanent resident in each of those countries and the way that you have to do it. So basically in Costa Rica, the way to get the permanent residence is that if you invest in real estate $200,000, or if you create a company and that company invests at least $150,000. And then in Gibraltar, it's a little bit different. In Gibraltar, you need to show that you have a worth net over 2 million pounds, or if you are willing to invest in real estate, 550,000 pounds. So that's the way to get the permanent resident in Gibraltar. Then we have Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, you can get your permanent residency only after you have lived there for 7 years in a legal way. And then you declare that you want to establish Hong Kong as your permanent residency. And in terms of an entrepreneur who is trying to get or optimize their taxes, you need to wait 7 years until you have a permanent residence different to a country that you are trying to optimize, from which you are trying to optimize your taxes. So it's a little bit too long to wait to then and really start to enjoy the benefits of your taxes optimization. And then we have a Macao. In Macao, to apply for the permanent residency, you have to do the minimum of an investment in real estate of 1.8 million. So it's also a little bit quite much for someone who is an entrepreneur with and remember that this video is directed to all the entrepreneurs who have at least $1 million revenue per year, and then you have to put it 1.8 to get a permanent residence. This is a little bit too much. And then we have Malaysia, and in Malaysia it's a little bit a similar case. So because in Malaysia you have to put in an investment of $2 million that you or invest or putting in a deposit account $2 million that you can only withdraw after 5 years. It's also still too much. Then we have Nicaragua. In Nicaragua, it's quite easy to get the permanent residency, because in Nicaragua, only when you invest in any area or sector of the country, $30,000, you will get the permanent residency. So, and then we have Panama. Panama is the country where I am living, and Panama is the country that I am promoting in this video because it's the country that allows me to enjoy the benefits to live in an offshore country and don't pay taxes for all the income that I generate outside Panama. And it's also the country that all the clients that become to be my friend now, that coming from Spain, France, Italy, Australia, they decide to live here and choose Panama as their permanent resident country and don't have to pay any more taxes for all the business that they are running online outside Panama. So in Panama, the way to get the permanent residency is quite easy in terms of real estate, because with a minimum of $200,000 invest in real estate, you can get the permanent residency here in Panama, or with a security deposit of $200,000 that you can withdraw after 3 years. So it's quite easy. And I will explain in another video more details about how to get it. It's also important to make a note in this point about Panama, because all the citizens of countries that are not listed in the friendly nation list, so you still can apply for the permanent residency in Panama, and you can do it investing in a real estate, the minimum of $500,000 in the real estate in Panama. So after that, you will get a temporary resident for 2 years, and passing those 2 years, you will apply for the permanency in Panama. You will be a permanent resident in Panama officially. So don't worry if you are no citizen for a friendly nation country, you still can apply for the permanent residency as investor in Panama. And then we have San Marino. In San Marino, you need to be the shareholder of a or the majority shareholder of a high-tech startup company in San Marino. And you also need to hire at least 1 to 3 employees from San Marino and make a security deposit for 75,000 euros to increase to 150,000 euros within 2 years after the approval of the permanent residency. You can also take the option to invest in real estate to get the permanent residency in San Marino with a minimum of 300,000 euros. And then we have Paraguay. Paraguay is the cheapest and easy country of the whole list, because in Paraguay, only with open a security deposit for $5,000, you can get the permanent residency. And then you can get the $5,000 back after the process ending. And that normally takes 90 days. That's awesome. So, and then we have Singapore. Singapore is a complex situation. In Singapore, you need to meet 4 criteria to then can get the permanent resident in Singapore. And those 4 criteria are basic. Number 1, invest in the country $1.8 million, either in a Singapore company or in a fund who invest the money in Singapore companies. So, and the second criteria is that you need to demonstrate a tracker business entrepreneur for at least the last 3 years. And also you need to demonstrate your financial statement for the last 3 years. So it's a little bit complex. And then the third criteria is that you need to have a turn and demonstrate a minimum turnover of 37 millions preceding the year before the application day. But also you need to demonstrate the average of 37 million preceding the 3 years before the day of the application. That's really complex. Then you need to have at least the 30% shareholder of your company. All those 4 criteria are the criteria that you need to meet to apply for the permanent residency in Singapore. Now I will mention one country that even when it's not on the list of the top 10 countries as an offshore countries, I consider it important to mention it because as this video is directed to the digital entrepreneur, and I know that many of them love the idea to move to a country that is Dubai. And in Dubai, you can obtain a temporary residence for at least 3 years or 5 years, and that will depend of the amount of money of your real estate investment. If you invest the minimum of $275,000 US, you can apply for 3 years of temporary residency. And if you invest the minimum of $1.3 US, you can obtain a 5 years temporary residence. So also you can apply for a mortgage to buy those properties, but the mortgage that you will apply the maximum mortgage that you will obtain is going to be the 50% of the value of the property, which is mean that you need to put the 50% as a down payment. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope that all the information that I share here will be useful for you to help you to decide if you can optimize or not your taxes and move to another country where you're going to enjoy the benefits of an offshore country and pay taxes equal zero. So I hope to see you soon here in Panama, and in the meantime I invite you to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell, because in the future I'm going to share with you videos like school system. I'm going to show you the lifestyle here in Panama, the quality of the life. I also would like to show you doing trips around the country, because I want to show you how the beach in Panama look like, and mountains and all that. So, and at the same time, I will make videos when I'm going to show you what you can buy for $200,000, which is the amount of money that you need to apply for the permanent residency as a friendly nation. And also I will show you property for $500,000, which is the amount of money that you will need to apply for a permanent residency as investor. So I hope to see you again in another videos, and thank you again.